The plot is a story about an old man, Carl Fredricksen, who's voiced by Ed Asner, who flies his house to South America by attaching thousands of balloons to it. And then there's Russell, who's the wilderness explorer kid, who's the stowaway. And there's Kevin, who's my favorite character, who's the bird, the giant sort of dodo bird character. And there's Muntz, who's the adventurer, who they meet in South America. And Doug, who becomes a dog, a talking dog, who they meet. And Alpha and a bunch of other characters.
The tone of Up is very charming and heartfelt warm. It's a beautiful story, and it shows how older human beings and younger human beings can get along and how they can both realize with each other the things in life. And so for me, it touches the bases of every generation.
We started very early when they were still in storyboard form. I think I saw an early screening where there was virtually no animation done. And so we started talking about sound at that point and started talking about the environments that they were going to be in and also the style in which we wanted to present the sound. Pete was very keen on old movies, so we went back and watched a number of old movies and tried to work in that way. The big thing was this bird, Kevin, who had to have a language all his own. And initially we thought, well, we'd have to find one creature, one bird, one animal that would suit all, that we could create this vocabulary out of. And what we discovered was it ended up being an amalgam of at least half a dozen different people, animals. Pete Docter, the director, did some of the vocalizations. We've recorded hyenas, peacocks, macaws, and some of me, and all that stuff is in there. And my initial fear was it wouldn't sound like an organic creature, but it actually worked out great.
Russell!
No, stop, that tickles.
Get out of here! Go on, get!
Uh-oh. No, Kevin. It's okay. Mr. Fredricksen is nice.
Kevin?
Yeah, that's his name I just gave him.
Beat it! Vamoose! Scram! Shoo! Get out of here! Go on, beat it!
To me, the most interesting thing about Up, sound-wise, is some of the quiet spots, which often you don't see. I mean, for me, I always feel like this has more space in it than most of the other Pixar films.
When the house lands at Paradise Falls the first time, and it's a misty scene, and it's kind of dark, there is a flavor that Pete Docter's sense of it was always, it's kind of cold and then it warms up.
Pete was very keen on building in dynamics. So they land, it starts quiet, they come down, they land. It's sort of an assault, and they push to the edge of the cliff, and then everything kind of falls away, and there's the reveal of the waterfall. Here, there's a very famous wind that we use a lot that goes back to, that's called the dandelion wind. It goes back to actually Bug's life. So we use that and a ton of other stuff, a ton of other winds that we had.
Sonically, you can hear it in the track, and Michael Giacchino's score helps support all the revealing of the falls and where are we? And then, it's like it pulls away and it's this beautiful landscape.
There it is.
Michael Giacchino, I have to say, is now my favorite composer because he thinks about the whole film and not just his music, which is not to say all composers do that, but Michael was really, really smart about that.
I have a great time working with Michael. He's very receptive to the dialogue in the film. He understands filmmaking as well as, he knows where to get down, he knows where to get loud. I'm not fighting his score when I'm mixing it. It plays itself almost.
We thought a lot about knowing this film was going to be released in 3D. So in terms of spatial use of sounds and more aggressive use of surrounds than maybe we would do normally, and tilting music a little farther back into the surround so you're more enveloped. Those are the type of things that we talked about or thought about and did for the 3D aspect of Up.